Hey folks, I'm the Mysterious JG, part of the Dairy Queen Army. For those of you following the Let's Play together of Phantom Pain with Bobo the Vulture. And as you can tell by the, graphical prowess of this logo and the, incredibly high quality image that I've pulled off the internet, I am an internet phenom and a national icon, cultural treasure, World Heritage Site is my apartment where I Let's Play from. And that's the case because I've hit 5,000 subscribers. Now, this is something that no one on YouTube has ever done before. So I'm very excited to be the first person to ever have 5,000 subscribers. I'm a huge believer in the idea that Guan Yu killed Cao Cao at Chirby by creating an earthquake. Yeah, this is the. I gotta stop saying things like I'm the first person to ever make 5,000 subscribers. I'm so proud because there are people out there who just don't get it. Anyway, I'm already off to a rollicking, nonsensical start. But yeah, so I hit 5,000 subscribers. It kind of snuck up on me, and it kind of didn't. I've been over 4,900 for a long time because my subscriber count increases very slowly. Don't ask me how. But yeah, my subscriber count has been kind of creeping up. So in the back of my mind, I've known 5,000 is coming for a long time. But, I had no idea when I was going to hit it. And I finally hit it. And I'm recording this now. Because I haven't really decided what I want to do for 5,000 subscribers. Or hadn't really come up with anything solid. But I feel like I should do something. Because, I've been doing this for several years now. I hit 1,000 subscribers while I was in Afghanistan during 2012. And I got back from Afghanistan at the end of 2012. So I've been back now from Afghanistan for 3 years, which is a really weird thing when I think about it, say it out loud. Because there are days where it feels like just yesterday and other days where it feels like it was a whole lifetime ago. That's the kind of deep insight you only get from somebody with a low-res DQ logo that they screen capture. Which as I look at it, I'm not even sure if I need to adjust this, that there's some non-gray that managed to sneak in there. The wrong shade gray. Anyway, yeah, I know, but so it's been like, it took, I had a pretty slow but steady increase in subscribers, and I've got some loyal diehards who are still with me, and that I really appreciate, the people that I, get to interact with on the YouTubes a little bit. And, there's some people that were subscribers a long time ago that used to comment all the time and are gone, and I miss those people as well. But all in all, it seems like there's at least some folks out there who enjoy watching me goof off on YouTube in my free time as a hobbyist, and that's just, it's a nice feeling to have. So I do want to do a little something to mark the occasion. Now, at my 1,000 subscriber mark, I did a Q&A session, which... I managed to get a lot of material out of that, mostly just because when people ask questions, I took the time to really give, thoughtful answers, I think, for the most part, to them. So I think that's an easy thing that I can do, is just say, hey, in the comments section of this video, ask questions, and if and I'll try to answer your questions. And don't feel obligated to do funny joke questions. If you do, I'll probably read them and, chortle and move on. But, ask questions that you'd like to hear me answer. If you're curious about me, I'm not a big one to talk a whole lot about my life outside of Let's Play, because that gets into the fact that, don't have much fun, But, yeah, you can ask me questions and I'll answer. And if I think they're personal or inappropriate, if I think they're well-meaning but just not something I want to discuss, I'll probably read them aloud and explain why I don't want to discuss it. And if it just really seems like you're just being a troll and intentionally trying to cheese me off, I'll probably just ignore your question. But by and large, I think I will answer most of the questions that I'm asked. And if you are interested, you can go back and check out my 1,000 subscriber my 1,000 subscriber special where I answered questions. And I was in Afghanistan at the time, which... Frankly, just that made it kind of more interesting because I had a bunch of cool videos, photographs, I should say, that I showed. And I might try to do something like that. Maybe I'll pull out the old, I'm trying to think what I have that's interesting visually that I can show. Because I definitely didn't want to be playing a video game while answering your questions. I was trying to actually concentrate. So maybe I might break out the vacation photos from when Bobo and I went to Japan. That might be interesting. Trying to find ones. that don't actually feature us in them, since neither of us have really made it putting our actual faces on YouTube a thing that we do. It's just not a thing that we do. It's there's people we interact with. Zerfall, we've both done a lot of stuff with him. He puts his face out there on the YouTubes, and that's cool. And Grimmeth and Lethal and guys like that. Well, I've never actually done anything with Lethal, but other than be on the same charity streams. But yeah, it's just not something Bobo and I have done, so I don't know why I went onto that whole side. But anyway, yeah, 5,000 subscriber special. Just Q&A session. I think there's enough people who are around now and weren't around the last time I did it. Like I said, go rewatch the 1,000 subscriber one if you want. But if people ask questions that I already got asked at 1,000 subscribers, I'll probably just answer them again. And if I know it's something I already answered and I don't have anything new to say, I'll probably just say, hey, check this video out if you want to hear that. But there's other ones like, somebody asked me who my favorite Doctor Who was, and I don't know how long I talked about that, but I went off on a tangent, and I could do that again, and I might come up with a different answer this time. So, it's a deal. It's a thing. And since the 1,000 subscriber specials come up, I don't think Bobo or I had any Metal Gear content when I was at 1,000 subscribers, and now we've done a ton of that stuff. So maybe people want to ask about that. I don't know. But yeah, please, in the comments section for this video, if you have questions that you would like me to answer, you can post them. I'm not going to limit you to how many questions you can ask, because I don't have a set rule about how many I'll take before I decide to record the thing. It's just, we're flying by the seat of our pants here, folks. No professional eye. Actually, I'm a professional. I'm just not a professional Let's Player. Yeah. Other thing that I want to talk about here real quick before I move on to just a little gameplay, because I'm going to play a game in this video just so that I did something other than just talk. I feel this weird thing where I can't just make announcement videos. I did a 1,000 subscriber special Clipfest that I really enjoyed doing. I enjoyed making it. I don't know how many people other than me could say this, but I actually watched my own Clipfest more than once before it was over, because I actually really enjoyed it. But it was a lot of work to do, and to tell you the truth, there's a part of me that's just like, I don't know, it's so much work, I don't want to do it. But I kind of want to make myself do another one because I thought it was fun, and the 1,000 subscriber Clipfest is still the intro video on my channel. So I feel like I could do a 5,000 subscriber Clipfest, just stuff from my channel that didn't get on the 1,000 one, not just stuff in the intervening years, but even some older stuff that I didn't have access to when I made the 1,000 subscriber one. And I think my favorite video of all time is that I was part of is probably actually on Bobo's channel, but what I'm trying to get at is a 5,000 subscriber special. I'd probably need you guys' help, because if you guys can suggest moments that made you laugh from my Let's Plays, especially the really long ones, I can come up with remember quippy jokes that I made or Bobo made or Zerfall made on shorter games or games with story segments. I can never think back to individual moments that really stood out in the long ones, like the RTK ones or even Fallout New Vegas. It's so long it all blurs together. So if you have an idea for something you remember from my channel that really made you laugh, that you really enjoyed, that you want to relive as part of a Clipfest, let me know about it. You can do it in the comments for this video again. Just mark it, hey, here's a Clipfest idea, instead of, hey, here's a question. Lay it on me. And if you happen to know the video number, your chances that I'll grab it and include it in the Clipfest are much higher. And if you know the timestamp, you're like, oh man, this was so funny in RTK 10 episode 30. It was 15 minutes 45 seconds. That was when you yelled about Grimmeth and Magic Necromancer bullshit. Well, that one won't make it, because that's the only fucking thing I found from RTK that I put into the 1,000 subscriber Clipfest. But something like that, timestamp comment with a video, even if I don't really see the point, if you do all that work, I'll probably be like, yeah, fucking grab it, because it's one less thing I have to research and find for myself. But it's very important that you guys realize, before we go any further, if I get some questions for a subscriber Q&A session, I'll almost certainly do it. If I get just a handful of ideas for clips and I don't really feel like going through and doing all the clips, I just want it out there right now. I think that's a fun thing that I might do, but I'm not promising anything. It's certainly not a timetable. So please, I know I'm mentioning it. For at least some of you, I hope I'm getting your hopes up that it's something you really want to see. But if it doesn't happen, let's not freak out, because any point I reserve the right to lapse into laziness. It is, after all, a hobby thing that I'm doing. And, certain people have earned the right to ride me about that if it happens. If I talk about a 5,000 subscriber Clipfest and don't deliver, Zerf, for example, I don't know how many little passive-aggressive jokes I've made over the last 2 years about, oh, I sure am looking forward to the next Treasure Rudra. I sure can't wait till you give us the next piece of that 12 Days of Christmas special. Yeah, if I promise this and don't deliver, he certainly can make fun of me. But yeah, the rest of you, maybe not quite so much. What else do I want to say before I just grab some gaming? The only game I have planned that is basically a lock that in my mind is associated with 5,000 subscribers is Final Fantasy X-2, because Final Fantasy X, I guess I'll get ahead of it if it's a question that anybody asks, probably my favorite LP of my own that I've done. Probably the best LP I've done as far as being both a very complete look at a game and a game where, an LP where my own personality made it different, not necessarily better, but different from other LPs of the same game. But that was what I did at 1,000. And it wasn't really a 1,000 subscriber special in the sense that, I recorded it real quick and put it out from 1,000. It was a long game, and it took months to finish. But I started as a way of marking my 1,000. So Final Fantasy X-2, the in some ways superior, but in most ways inferior sequel. Very funny game. I think it'll be an enjoyable LP. And I told myself when I got it, and I was at over 4,000 subscribers, that I was going to set it aside for my 5,000 subscriber special, and that is still the plan. That'll probably be the one that I'm uploading. I usually have one LP that I'm doing one video a day of, and any other side projects I have are interspersed. That'll probably be Final Fantasy X-2. No promises, but the idea is I should be able to get a video a day of that one uploading. I have not started anything in advance. Well, that's not true. I've played off screen to do some stuff and have it ready to go. But I don't have a bunch of videos in the can. Whenever I get around to upload to recording that, I'll be recording it. I'm not way ahead of anybody. So that being said, let's just play a little bit of video games here. That's 12 minutes. That's long enough for a video, but we'll just jump in and do something here for funsies. This is, I'm the first LPer ever to hit 5,000 subscribers, as I mentioned earlier. And as a juggernaut of LPing, I wanted to show you guys just, we won't go through the whole game, but just a few minutes of a game that I think is kind of a rare gem that some of you guys aren't familiar with. It hasn't really been LP'd that much. I'm not talking about, that Minecraft game, because I couldn't bring myself to play that even as a joke. But as far as games go that nobody's really done much with in the LP world, I wanted to bring you this game that I remember from when I was a kid that I always rather enjoyed. And I'm not sure why it doesn't get more attention on the LP circuit. In the year of 2000X, a super robot named Mega Man was created. Dr. Light created Mega Man to stop the evil desires of Dr. Wily. Long pause. However, after his defeat, Dr. Wily created 8 of his own robots to counter Mega Man. Now for a very long pause. This intro, man, I'm being serious now. When I was a kid, this was the most fucking epic intro ever. I mean, unless you're comparing it to cutscenes from Ninja Gaiden. This was some serious shit. And there's the blue bomber himself, Mega Man. The blinking and the hair blowing in the wind. I mean, this was really impressive stuff when I was just a little guy, I gotta say. I'm gonna play on difficult level, which is the Japanese normal, because, fuck them Japanese. Think a bunch of fat, lazy Americans can't play video games. I'll show them. So here we are, classic Mega Man 2. Why am I playing this? Just want to play something, a couple minutes of gaming in this LP channel, 5,000 subscriber, begging people to ask questions and provide clips. So we will jump right in with Crash Man. He's the guy you're supposed to fight first, right? I think that's how it was supposed to work. Crash Man's weapon is, of course, that he gets drunk and drives his car around. Anyway, I am not the best Mega Man 2 player in the world, folks, and I just set it on difficult, which for this game is a bit of a joke, but this is not a difficult game. It gets harder near the end, but, you know, none of the initial Robot Master stages are all that bad. I shouldn't say that, because I'm sure if I went and played through all of them, I'd find at least one that was, like, way trickier than I remember. For example, I'm already in a stage where I just did totally the wrong strategy as far as getting these guys out of the way so I can advance. Crash Man stage is a stage where you're going to just want to... You're probably going to lose a life by just tanking damage and getting through the first few areas, and you're probably not going to get to the Robot Master with max health on your first life, but, what did I just say about tanking damage and continuing? But yeah, you're going to want to just take the hits and keep going, and not get too caught up in perfect health, because as you'll see, a lot of what's going on here is just like you've got to navigate to the top of the screen, and the enemies just kind of get in your way. And you'll see this kind of platform physics in the Wily stages, where if you fail, you die. In the Robot Master stages, yeah. Oh, well, no, that's not true. Even Heatman stage will punish you with death for messing up on the last set of platform challenges, but, fudge. I screwed that up. Oh, we gotta wait for it to come around again. And I'm out of stuff to say. Truly, this is the greatest Mega Man 2 LP of all. Yeah, Heatman stage, as I recall, has some pretty nasty jump. It's the one... Oh, God. Iceman gave it to us in the first game. Heatman gives it to us in the second. But the blocks that disappear and make a loud noise to... God damn it! You really don't have to be that good to get through the Robot Master stages. Even Heatman's not that bad. If you remember what's going on and what order to do the stages in, and you go to Heatman stage with some of the, you know, item 2 and stuff, it's really not that bad. Although now that I think about it, I didn't really intend this. I remember that when we were little uns, Bobo and I played the shit out of this game, and beating the Robot Masters in a weird order where you didn't get to take advantage of their weapon weaknesses was one of the things that we did to get more mileage out of the game after we'd already beaten it a bunch of times but still enjoyed playing it. And Crash Man was just a guy that, like, I think if you read the official guides, I don't even remember what he was weak against. Maybe it was air shot? So that didn't really help me, because on advanced difficulty I did remember these things split apart, but you jump all the way back and it respawns. That doesn't help you one bit. I think Crash Man was weak against air shot, or maybe that was just the easiest weapon to hit him with because he jumps a lot. But yeah, beating the Robot Masters out of sequence was one of the things that we did later on. And Crash Man's not that bad. His bombs will give you access to rooms you couldn't get to otherwise in certain other stages, but usually there's nothing all that great in there, like you can get an E-Tank or whatever. It wasn't until you got to the SNES games, where maybe the later NES games, they really got into, like, you know, gotta find them all Pokemon style. There's all sorts of crazy treasures and shit to find by replaying every stage 8 times. Mega Man 2 doesn't even let you replay stages, so... We hadn't gotten into this this mode where you had to find 800 parts so that you could make Beat the flying bird thing come out and help you, and what the fuck ever, you know. Find every secret in the game, and you get Hadoken, which will allow you to beat any boss with one shot. You know, we didn't have that kind of stuff back in the day. You just played through the damn game and you liked it. You tank damage against these guys, you get to the Robot Master with half health, and you get your butt kicked, and then you hope you have enough lives to learn his pattern and win the regular way. So here comes Crash Man. I vaguely remember how to beat him, so let's see if it still works. It's all about getting him into a pattern where you're controlling his actions, and I just screwed it up. Yep. Probably not going to win now. I think I've screwed this up. But you get the idea. He jumps when you jump, and he kind of drifts in the direction he was walking, so you got to make it so that you run under him while he's in the air. if I added anything to Mega Man 2 Let's Plays, I think it's at least a little weird to beat Crash Man first. That might be the only thing that I've done that hasn't been done a million times. If I had a new tank, I could probably use it to save myself here. I didn't bother to get one. I'm actually really... I don't know if I should say proud or embarrassed, but I remembered the correct set of ladders to climb to avoid a lot of extra crap. Now, I've actually, being quite honest, I've thought about playing some Mega Man stuff on my channel, and I've been joking around about how it's the least original thing you could possibly do, and it kind of is. But still, I enjoyed the games. It might be fun to give them a try. It's more like the kind of thing where if Bobo and I were hanging out at his place streaming, we could just randomly pull one out. I don't know if I could, plan out a Mega Man LP in advance of any kind. But, C, get equipped with Crash Bomber, Flash. And the phrase "get equipped with" was just a big thing on this website that now defunct website I used to write for. But we all love the idea of getting equipped with whatever. So here's your password for you if you're a big Mega Man 2 fan, but you've never seen what happens if you beat Crash Man first. There you go. Good stuff. And if you didn't believe me, no way to replay the Crash Man stage. That pleasure is forever lost to us. We'll have to make do with our fond memories of having beaten the Crash Man stage. Anyway, so I kind of didn't get into a whole lot of 5,000 subscriber special stuff once I started playing the game, and I'm not really playing the game right now. But oh, what the hell? Save my state anyway, just for funsies, shits and giggles. Sure, I'll save it there. Didn't realize that I was going to pull up a bunch of stuff here. Yeah, there you go, folks. That was my 5,000 subscriber plea for questions/clip ideas so that I can basically rehash my 1,000 subscriber special, but with 5 times the stalling. Yeah, so I'm going to play Final Fantasy X-2. If you're interested in asking me about what other games are coming up in the future of this channel, you can use the Q&A session to do it. But just to summarize some stuff real quick, I had intended to do, I did StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty. In the back of my mind, at some point, I keep intending to do the... I can't even remember what the frickin' Zerg campaign is, and then the Protoss one came out, and I haven't even bought it yet. So, yeah, poke me if you want those, but I'm intending to at some point play through the single-player campaigns for StarCraft 2 that I haven't already done. Bobo and I are still working on Phantom Pain, and I think we're planning together on tackling Metal Gear Revengeance when that's done. We don't have a way to play Portable Ops, but we could try to do that. It's semi-canon. And beyond that, I got him Twin Snakes for Game Gear. We have this vague notion that we might do that at some point. Game Gear? Is it N64? What the hell system was it for? Whatever it was for, I got it for him. So we might try to do that someday. And we'd always thought about going back and doing the Metal Gear... the original Metal Gear, the port of the MSX version, which was a bonus on the HD collection. That's a possibility, but that's me and Bobo's stuff together. We have, I guess I'll stooge it off. We started recording a little bit of DW8, The Way Story, and it's just sitting there. We got a third of the way through, and all these other things came up, and we never finished. So if you really want to see that, yell and scream and holler, and I'll try to drag Bobo in. And get him to finish that up with me at some point. And Final Fantasy X-2 is a thing. I got for Christmas Final Fantasy Type 0, which the first night I played it, I was like, oh god, I got to LP. This is so bad. It'll be a lot of fun to make fun of. But then I started getting into the gameplay, and I was like, the gameplay is actually pretty fun. So that's in the background of something that I might try to do. There's always more Breath of Fire games that I haven't done. etc., etc. The WWE 2K16 Bobo tricked me into not buying that by telling me that I wouldn't want to buy it until it got cheaper later, and then the tricksy little hobbit got it for me for Christmas. Nobunaga's Ambition. That's what people are, well, of my recent LPs, that was easily the one that most people were watching. Let me shut this off before the music drives you insane. Yes, I'm sure. Yeah, Nobunaga's Ambition, I don't know. I guess people can poke me about it. There's a lot of people who watched that and weren't watching any more of my stuff, and they would ask me to do more of that and then disappear. And that's cool. You know, you don't have to like sign up. You have to watch 3 Mysterious JG LPs, or you're not allowed to watch 1. I mean, whatever. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, and I wouldn't mind playing the game some more, but the desire to record myself playing more of the game isn't that strong. But people have asked for it, and it could be something I would consider doing. But a lot of the people who are asking for more of that, it's weird. Like, I got the impression from the comments, they were watching multiple LPs of that game, and not just mine. So it's just like, you just are addicted to this game and want to see as much of it as you can, and that's cool and all, but, like, you know, I'm not even sure if like you'd be even. It's like, well, JG will LP it. I'll watch that. But boy, there's like 3 other people I'd rather see LP it because I just want to see this game nonstop. Whatever. But yeah, people throwing out ideas. I would like to play more of that game. It took up a lot of time to do, and I definitely want to do Final Fantasy X-2. So I don't know how many different major LPs I can have going at one time. It's fine if I have Soul Blazer going and something else, because Soul Blazer I know is going to be, done in less than 20 videos. But something like when both LP projects are looking to go well over 100 videos, it's kind of hard to be juggling them all at the same time. Because something I've discovered recently playing Fallout 4 and Final Fantasy Type 0, now that I think about it, I've discovered that sometimes you can play video games and not record them and post them on the internet, and that can be fun too. Anyway, folks, I'm coming up on the 30-minute mark, and I really only had 15 minutes of gaming, so I probably should just shut up. But quick recap is Q&A session for 5,000 subscriber special. Put your questions in the comments, and I will endeavor to answer them at an unspecified future date. 5,000 subscriber Clipfest. I'd like to do it. I think it would be fun. It will be a lot of work. I don't know. I might get lazy and not do it. But if you have ideas on things you'd like to see, go ahead and post them in the comments. And the absolute worst case scenario is I don't do a Clipfest, but you warm my heart a little bit by reminding me of fun points in our past that we've had together. What else? Should I even think? I'm thinking various multiplayer projects. God, it probably is like 2 years since Bobo Grimmeth and I were planning some kind of 3-player thing together that never happened. Always meaning to try to get something rolling with Lethal. Zerf and I have always got fun stuff going. Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of things that could happen in the future of this channel. So if you're still here and you're one of my 5,000, well, thank you very much for watching this, and give me your notions on what you'd like to see going forward. And I hope everybody out there has a real pleasant day.